$2 million HDB. Is this going to be the new norm for Singapore? $1 million flats are everywhere in Singapore now, but what if I tell you that there are some people selling their HDB at $2 million today? So recently my social media went crazy when many of my subscribers told me there is this HDB listed on the property portal, and guess what? It is asking for $2 million. No wonder so many netizens are calling this owner a bit delusional. Or is it? Did you know that out of the 26 HDB estates, all of them already clocked $1 million flats, except for these 4 HDB estates? So stay tuned to the end of the video to find out which are the 4 and which HDB estates will potentially be the next one to break that $1 million HDB price. So fun fact, did you know that there are $185 million flats that were sold in the first quarter of this year in 2024? That means every month there are $60 million flats sold, and every day there are $2 million flats transacted. Wow! And if you really want to know the champion estate, it is Toa Payoh with $42 million transactions, and District 12 alone. That means 42 instant millionaires. And at the time of this video, the latest record belongs to this 5-room HDB in Bukit Merah that sold for $1.59 million in April. Let's take a look at how we got here. And it all started in January in Sengkang, and that this 4-room HDB sold for $808,000 just before CNY, so that the owners can what big for Chinese New Year. Next, we go to our champion HDB estate for the next $1 million flat, which is a 5-room HDB in Toa Payoh, which is sold for $1.57 million. Yes, exactly, $1,568,888. No wonder the most recent listing is asking for $2 million. And even in Ang Mo Kio, we see a new record price of $1.26 million for this 5-room recently sold in March. So how will a $1 million flat even affect me and my property, you ask? So if you take a look at the Ang Mo Kio unit, it first crossed the $1 million mark in 2022. And if you look at the surrounding HDB transactions, 1 km from the unit, the average HDB transaction was about 800k, with a highest transaction of 960k before 2022. But right after the $1 million mark was crossed, today the average HDB transaction price is around $900,000 with a high of 1.2 million. Now that's for HDB. You might be asking, does it even affect private condos? So now let's take a look at Grandeur 8, a nearby condo. You can see before the $1 million mark was reached, the growth is about 8%. But take a look again, after the $1 million HDB mark was reached, the condo experienced an uplift in growth, and it grew at more than 30% from the time $1 million flats was transacted in the area. So you can clearly see that $1 million HDB flats not only help to elevate neighbouring HDB, the effect on private condos is even more in this Ang Mo Kio case. So do you have a $1 million HDB neighbour? Now back to the question I asked at the beginning of this video, which is which HDB estate will potentially be the next that produces the next $1 million HDB. And out of the 26 HDB estates, only 4 have yet to cross the $1 million mark. They are Sembawang, Choa Chu Kang, Jurong West, and surprisingly, Sengkang. We have already seen at the start of this year that a 4-room HDB in Sengkang sold for $800,000+. At the time of this video, the highest transacted HDB unit is $929,000, which means it's likely to be very soon that we'll see a $1 million flat in Sengkang. And if you stay in Sengkang next to the next $1 million flat, congrats, because you already know how that will affect your property. Now, to learn more about whether your area can potentially produce the next $1 million HDB, or to find out what your next step is with your property journey, simply DM me or connect with me and my team today. Link in bio and description. This is Pete, helping you take the next step with Singapore Property Pro. I'll see you in the next video.